If you're looking to light up the darkest trails or back roads at night at a very affordable price point, well then the Rough Country Black Series 50-inch LED bar and bracket kit here might just be the ticket. Now this kit will feature Rough Country's 50-inch single-row LED light bar, which will pump out nearly 20,000 lumens, all for just north of the $300 price point. Site is going to call this install strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Take a couple of hours or so to complete from start to finish. But as always guys, hang with me for a bit and we'll walk you through that job later in the video. So I think we can all agree that one of the best parts about the 6th Gen Bronco is the fact that Ford was thinking ahead and incorporated a number of locations for owners to easily modify or install aftermarket lighting, as is the case with this kit from Rough Country. Now, as you 2- and 4-door owners are aware of, there are 2 locations right above the windshield that will allow for the Rough Country kit to be mounted easily without the need for any drilling. And that's huge, right? Because if you're a truck owner, traditionally, if you wanted to do something similar above the windshield, well, you'd have to do some drilling into the cab itself. Not the case here, and again, big hat tip to Ford. Well, let's talk about the star of the show here for this particular product, and of course, it's the Rough Country 50-inch Black Series LED light bar. Now, the Black Series does pack 48 individual 5-watt pre-LEDs, which all together work to pump out a very, very bright 19,200 lumens at 240 watts. Now, these LEDs will feature a 6K color temperature, so that nice bright white, along with a 30-degree spotlight pattern, which is really gonna help concentrate that throw down the road or down the trails, illuminating everything in front of you. Now, the Black Series name is actually in reference to the appearance. As you guys can see here, you've got the combination of this black panel or black face design working with the powder-coated black aluminum housing, making for a very stealthy look. Now, that housing has been sealed up well enough to achieve a waterproof rating of an IP67, and this thing even does feature a built-in breather to help prevent any condensation from building up in here over time. But outside of the light bar itself, you also have some nice extras with the Rough Country kit, starting with the very nice powder-coated black steel brackets that will allow the bar to be bolted up to the windshield location easily, and again, without any modification. Now, the kit does also include a pretty solid fused wiring harness here with a switch, and that's gonna be a great option for owners out there who don't have those pre-installed auxiliary or upfitter switches, and you basically just need an easy way to wire this thing in and turn it on. Last but not least, guys, Rough Country has included a cover for the light itself here, and I really like that, because lately with a lot of state and local inspections, they basically mandate that auxiliary lighting such as this is covered at the time of your inspection, otherwise they might fail you. Also worth noting, they have kicked in what they call their noise silencers, which are designed to help reduce the noise or whistle traditionally caused by a roof-mounted light bar. And what I will say is, while those might be great at maybe reducing that noise a little bit, there's really no way of getting around the added wind noise caused by a light bar up there. So just be aware of the fact that once you install this thing, you might pick up some added noise with everything installed. Now, the LED light bar here from Rough Country does get backed by their limited 3-year warranty, just in case you happen to run into any issues over that time. Now, before we get into the install itself, I do want to quickly point out here, guys, that if you don't need this much light, if you think the 50 might be a bit overkill for your situation, I know it's kind of a silly statement to make, but if you'd like to run a smaller option that maybe will save you a few bucks, we do also have Rough Country's 40-inch LED Black Series bar and bracket set up here on the site that you can always check out as well if you think that's a better fit for your setup. But now let's shift gears as promised and talk a little bit more about that install. And again, thanks to the included brackets and mounting locations, the physical install should be a pretty easy and straightforward job. At that point, obviously you just need to wire it in. But to give you a better idea of just how exactly things will go down on your rig at home, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown now.
Tools for this install: a ratchet or electric ratchet, a 7/32 Allen bit or key, a T30 Torx bit, and a 10mm socket. Hey guys, we have another relatively easy install. I'm going to show you how to get a light bar onto your Bronco right now. Now, our first step would be to pop open the hood and lay some of our wiring down. That way we can get everything wired up. Rough Country is a little generous with their wiring harness, so we're going to clean some of it up on the inside here and lay it in place. Now, take a couple zip ties, clean up some of that wiring, and we're going to use the fender brace inside here to attach our wiring to. With your wiring now buttoned up, it's now time to get our light bar onto our Bronco. We're gonna start by removing the two panels at the top of the windshield so we can get our mounts placed. Push down on the top, there is a tab so you can reveal your mounting locations. Now that your accessory cover is removed, remove the two 10mm nuts so we can get this plate out of here so we can place our new mount onto our Bronco. Taking your light bar mounting bracket, place that onto the accessory area and your stock hardware. And tighten them down. Repeat that on the other side. Now grab your light bar and place it onto your mounting brackets using the kit provided spacer and hardware. I would recommend grabbing a buddy. It can be quite difficult to hold up the light bar by yourself while getting the hardware in. And using a 7/32 Allen bit or key, tighten down the bolts into the light bar. And repeat that on the other side. Now for the pigtail coming out of our light bar, we're gonna run that underneath the cowl into the engine bay. Using a T30 Torx bit, remove the bolt on the inside of the cowl. Now we're going to pull up the cowl in order to get it high enough to where we need it. We do need to open the hood, but go ahead and tug on up so we can fish our pigtail through the cowl into the engine bay. Once your wiring is fished, push back down on the cowl to get it back in place. And replace your hardware, again using a T30 Torx bit. Now Ford does make it really convenient for you, giving you a point of access for your firewall where we can run our switch through. It's just going to be a rubber plug in front of the fuse box. Go ahead and push that rubber plug into your cab. Now we can run our switch through the firewall. Now you can go ahead and try to reapply your plug for your firewall, wedging your wire in between the plug itself as well as the rubber plug. Now that we have our switch through our firewall, go ahead and fish this through your dash however you would like, and stick this at any point you would like to on your dash. Make sure to clean up your wiring, that way it is not in the way of any moving parts. Now we can go ahead and power and ground our harness, taking our 10mm socket, undo the bolt at the negative terminal, place our ground wire there, and we can tighten that back up. And our hot wire in our positive, using the same 10mm socket. Undo one of these bolts to place your hot wire underneath. And finally, plug your light bar into your harness. Make sure it's seated all the way. That way no water can get into the connection. and close up your hood. Now that's going to wrap it up for our review and install of the Rough Country Black Series 50-inch single row LED light bar with mounting brackets fitting your 21 and newer Bronco. Thank you for watching, guys. For more videos just like this, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.